Hey everybody, and welcome to Ask GameSpot. I'm Sean McInnes.
I'm Carolyn Pettit.
And today we're talking to you all about Forza Motorsport 5, also known as
Forza.
We've been practicing.
Our first question comes from Sina Madani, who asks, what have they done to make the interior view more exciting, and have they taken any cues from Shift 2?
So, Need for Speed Shift 2 was a game that did a lot of really exaggerated techniques with the cockpit view. You could really feel your driver just getting jostled around. You kind of feel him like moving it around in the seat like that.
Yeah.
And when you hit really high speeds, the cockpit would actually blur out. So it kind of did some really interesting things. Some people liked that stuff, some people didn't. In Forza 5, it's not quite that exaggerated. What they're doing with the cockpit view is just using a lot more lighting techniques, basically. So you're going to see a lot more kind of like flare from the sun peeking through the windshield. And one of the cool things that I really like about the cockpit view is that you actually see your driver's reflection on the windshield from certain angles. It's, you know, not quite as crazy as Shift 2.
Yeah.
But they're doing some interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And the next one comes to us from HughB006, who asks, what do you think is the best addition to the game compared to the previous Forza titles?
Well, I recently got a chance to play through the first hour of Forza 5, and for me what it does better than the earlier games in the series is really open up that world of car enthusiasm and love for cars that's always kind of really been at the heart of the Forza games to kind of very casual car people like me who don't really know much about cars but can appreciate car beauty on some level.
Okay.
So what it opens with this really great short film, and it talks about how it starts off by talking about the roles that cars play in our everyday lives, and before then building on that to kind of evolve into the really high performance machines and the passion for racing and tuning cars and so on and so forth. So for me as a casual person, that film just really kind of got my heart invested in this. Like, I could understand the passion for cars from that accessible point of view of, you know, cars are a part of our lives. And then throughout the first, like, 5-race circuit that you go on, it's a kind of introductory circuit. It's just, you know, slower cars in the grand scheme of things. Yeah. But it really opens up that kind of, by that time you're done spending those first 5 races in a car, you're really starting to get a sense of the handling and learning how to tame that car. And and throughout there's just great narration from the Top Gear people that really makes the cars themselves and the races accessible and understandable to people who, you know, whether you're coming at it from like a super high level of car knowledge or someone like me who doesn't have that. It opens it all up to you, and that's what really hooked me into that first hour I spent playing Forza 5.
Yeah, that's interesting, because they did dabble with the Top Gear partnership in Forza 4, but they've talked about how they want to blow that up in a huge way with Forza 5. They're doing a lot more Top Gear stuff, and it sounds to me like they're incorporating that a lot more into like those introductory sessions.
It really felt really just organic, and like I said, those narrations are so inviting and warm and accessible that anyone can appreciate them, I think, whether they're, you know, regardless of their interest level in cars.
And if you love Jeremy Clarkson, all the better.
Our next question comes to us from Clifford Duwana Hammond, who asks, will it be on PS4?
Oh, Clifford, come here. I want to tell you something. You beautiful fool. No, the answer is no, it's not coming to PS4. It's a Microsoft game. It's not.
No, it's definitely not. At all. Our next question comes from Spartan X169X, who asks, do we know how many cars you can race against in a single race?
So the total player count in a given race is 16. There was a retailer listing back in September that said 24. That was actually proven to be false. Microsoft jumped right on that and said, no, actually, that's not true. It took a little bit of time for them to confirm how many it actually is, but it's 16, single player and multiplayer. Next one is from Dartel Brown, who asks, what are all the confirmed Lamborghinis?
Well, Dartel, as it turns out, we actually have the entire list of cars from the game queued up and ready to go. Hit it, Andy.
There we go.
Yeah, I definitely saw some Lamborghinis in there.
I think there was a Murcielago. A little hard to read. Andy, you slow it down a little bit. Roll that again.
Let's take another look.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go. That should answer your question, Dartel.
Yeah. Our next question comes to us from Vincent Smith, who asks, will there be additional tracks in DLC packs?
As far as I know, there's no track DLC confirmed at the moment, but they did talk about the details for the Season Pass, which is there's going to be monthly car packs. It's going to be 10 cars per pack. You can buy each car a la carte if you want, or you can buy them all as a bundle. Normally that would be $10 each, so total that would cost you $60. But if you get the Season Pass, it's $50. So you save a little bit of money, and you get like 60 cars total. So that's the DLC announcement right now. As far as tracks, we'll have to wait and see.
And our last question today comes to us from Wai Hong, who asks, the budget of this game?
Well, Wai, that's a very good question. And fortunately for you, we have this totally not at all suspicious pie chart which details the exact budget of the game. As you can tell, it's 28% circuit licensing, 22% tire physics, 40% of the budget went into car passion, and oddly 10% of the overall budget went to Jeremy Clarkson's fashionable blazers. I guess that guy does wear a lot of fashionable blazers.
He's a snappy dresser.
He is a snappy dresser. That is money well spent. And there you have it, everybody. That's another episode of Ask GameSpot done. And if you want to be featured on future episodes, make sure to follow GameSpot on Twitter and Facebook for your chance to submit questions to future episodes. Caro,
yeah.
I apologize already. I've already forgotten how to pronounce the name of the show.
Oh, let me help you out with that, Sean. It's Forza.
Forza.
Very good.